Hey guys, welcome back to For the Plot. This week we're going to be chatting with Sharjeel, tech entrepreneur from Pakistan and founder of LemonLeads. We were introduced to each other from a mutual friend a couple months ago, and I was really excited to chat with him. Tune in to hear his story. It's action packed. We talk about carving your own path, pushing through setbacks, and building something when there wasn't necessarily a blueprint. Well, I'm excited for you to be on the show today.
Thank you so much.
I heard such great things from Sana, so I'm really looking forward to diving in and getting to know you a little better, getting to know about the things that you've worked on in the past and where you're going in the future. So thank you for carving out the time and being here with us today.
Thank you so much. And I'm excited to share my story and also, have this casual conversation with you on all the different aspects of what I went through and where I am today.
Yeah, let's get into it. So, just to kick off the episode, do you mind giving people who are listening in a little bit of background of who you are, where you grew up, and kind of like what you're working on at a high level?
Yeah, I currently am the founder of LemonLeads AI. We are an AI-based lead generation platform, and we're helping pretty much do all the avenues of different industries. We're helping SaaS-based startups generate leads through email marketing, through LinkedIn, and through other different stuff. We're helping IT services companies, which is a big part of what I do and what has been a part of my journey in the past few years, which I'll come to later. And now, pretty recently, we've started helping medical billing companies in the US onboard doctors for their medical billing purposes, and we're helping construction and remodeling agents kind of get clients for their ventures. So we pretty much do the sales front for
a lot of these companies and businesses. Yeah.
And before that, I grew up in Pakistan, spent all my life there, and I come from a very small town in Pakistan as well. So I did not grow up in an urban area. So yeah, there's that. But I was lucky enough to go into the top high schools and top colleges. We call colleges universities in Pakistan. So our 4 years bachelor's program is in a university, not in a college.
Sure.
So for the university, I got 100% scholarship. I was pretty financially broke at that time. So I was lucky enough to get into that university because it was like a top 1% institutes of
that's incredible.
Pakistan. Yeah. And I studied there for 4 years, did my bachelor's in management sciences. And I wanted to be a data scientist. But then I ended up being a salesperson.
How did that happen?
Oh, so that started when my father passed away when I was 16, and I was the eldest in the family. It was a pretty bad setback for us. I mean, we kind of lost all of our support system, and that also included the financial support system. So I was in high school doing my FSC, which is equivalent to A levels in Pakistan, and I was straight out of school. And I had to put the food on the table.
Yeah.
And I had to do something.
Did you have to? You had to step up and be the provider of the family.
100%.
Are you the eldest of your
I
family?
am the eldest
Okay.
of all my siblings. So that was the necessity is the mother of all inventions. So I had to step up, and I realized that I was in high school, and all of my seniors who had graduated high school and went to college for their bachelor's degrees, they used to get pretty expensive course packs for their reading materials.
For college. For
college.
university.
Or university.
Sure.
Yeah, we'll say
Same
same thing. I'll use college because this podcast is going to be more for the American listeners.
I feel like Americans will understand. Yeah, if you say university.
So and those course packs were pretty expensive in Pakistan, especially because their publishers were either Oxford or Penguin or all of these big publishers.
Are these like these are like the course books that you need for class when you
100%.
start school? Okay.
So the colleges don't issue these course packs. They just give you the list of all the providers and they ask you to buy them, and they cost around $1,000, which is pretty expensive in Pakistan.
Expensive.
Oh yeah, for one semester.
That's crazy.
Yes. So I got to know that there was this store who was licensed to give a copy, which was a black and white copy of these publishers.
Okay.
And he got these licenses. You won't see the pictures, you won't see the pizzazz in all those course
But
packs.
you get everything you need.
Everything. You get the content. And I contacted that publisher, and I contacted all my seniors who had gone to college and asked, if I get those course packs to you, would you be willing to buy? And would you be willing to put the word out there with all of your friends and peers and other students? and if they'd be willing to buy that as well. They were like, yeah, sure. I mean, it's pretty inconvenient for us to take a commute of like an hour or so and buy those course packs and come back, and if
yeah.
something's wrong.
Yeah.
So I took care of all the logistics, and
You delivered it to them.
I delivered it to them.
Wow.
That's where I started making a very small but pretty large volume of margins.
Was this like your first business venture?
It was
that you
my
ever took
first
on?
business venture. I don't want to call myself an entrepreneur, but that's where I started my journey from. So that's where I realized, because I wanted to make money. I wanted to be rich. I wanted to put the food on the table.
Yeah.
And being a provider is hard.
So when you were doing this, you did it because you needed to put food on the table. It wasn't because like, oh, let me just help out my senior friends. Okay.
And I wasn't even motivated to do a business back then. I had zero experience. I come from a family that's always been doing jobs. My father was a government servant. My mother was a teacher and a lecturer, and all my family was doing jobs.
Yeah. So you
I
were
really
blazing
don't
the
come
trail.
from a business background.
Yeah.
So I had no clue of how to run a business. Nothing had been passed on to me from my generations on.
Wow. You
what
really
a
were
business looks
self-taught.
like. Yes.
Wow.
So I learned everything from the streets. I went through a lot of backlashes as well. Then when I was in university, I was very fond of doing photography, and I had a pretty good aesthetic sense. And
What did you like photographing?
nature for most part.
Oh, you should talk to Mike.
Yes,
He's a nature photographer.
Oh yeah, I love covering nature, and I think we should collaborate sometime.
Yeah, I think you guys could collaborate for sure.
So I used to be very experimental and very creative with the nature's photography, like capturing those candid moments, like a dewdrop falling on the leaf in a very super early day of the morning, or when a sparrow is feeding its kid, and stuff like that.
Yeah.
That's really, really candid in nature and very supernatural.
It's
Yeah.
yes, yeah, I understand what you're saying.
Sorry, pardon my English. I don't come from a...
No. I
it's my second
fully
language.
understood. Yeah.
Third, actually. So that's when I actually took a loan. That was my first friends and family loan. I took it from my friends who were pretty rich, so one thing about my university was that because it was one of the top institutes of Pakistan. It's called the Harvard of Pakistan. It's the name is LUMS, Lahore University of Management Sciences, and it's the only university in Pakistan that ranks almost on top against all the Indian universities, and in Asia it's the third best.
Wow.
So yeah, all my friends were pretty rich because the fee there was pretty expensive. It was like $30,000-$40,000 for a degree.
Yeah. So it sounds like you had access to.
I had access
and
to
stuff.
rich friends.
Yeah. So what was the loan for?
The loan was for a DSLR camera.
Oh, so
my
that's how you
first-
started photography.
Yes.
Okay.
That was my first camera. So my friends were really encouraging of me, and they saw my pictures and they were like, Sharjeel, you should do something with this. This can go bigger than this particular thing that you're doing. That's when I bought a DSLR, a pretty basic DSLR at that time, but it was pretty high end for that era. It was 2015. Yeah, so I was doing that venture too.
Yeah.
Now I have gone into the university. I'm studying as well.
Yeah.
I have joined different societies. I was very extrovert. I'm still the most extrovert person in the room. I can meet and greet like 100 people, network with them in like less than 10 minutes.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I can get on the stage and just start introducing myself.
Right.
That kind of energy. So, yeah. So that kind of turned into doing wedding photography, event photography, videography. And
Is that how you paid back your loan over time?
Yes. I actually paid back the first 6 months were rough. I did not get any paid gigs. So what I did was I started doing free gigs. I would just show up at the events. I would just show up at the events, sneak in between those photographers who were hired and paid for the event. And I would just start taking random pictures and then mail
no one's going to question. Right.
Yeah, I mean, that's a pretty conservative society that I come from, but I just kind of found my way.
Yeah.
So I started mailing those pictures and videos, and hey, I was also at the event, and I did that for you guys. If you love it, don't pay me, just put the word out there. And I had time, I had everything at my expense.
Yeah.
Except for money.
Right.
So I had skills, I had time, so I started experimenting with that. I got my first gig when somebody saw my pictures of their engagement, and they were like, dude, this guy has got some skills. The way he focused on the rings, the way he focused on the videos, slow-mos and everything.
They saw the skill and the talent. Yeah.
So they gave me my first gig for their cousin's wedding. That's when I built my first page. And then I was hired by almost all of these societies in my university as a media director.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Did you ever see yourself doing like media directing? Or was it something that just kind of happened once you started taking photography
because
more seriously?
I was really keen and very serious about the direction of what the image how the image comes out, how the the third rule. I don't even remember those rules now, but all of those rules of photography of where the subject should be, what the lighting should be like, and how much exposure are you giving at the background, the highlights and everything. So because of that, all these societies in my university, because we had a lot of different societies, and they all replicated the American model. So you had volunteers, then you had directors, executive council, president,
Right.
and everybody had a role.
Right.
Somebody would be taking care of the marketing and sponsorships and stuff like that. So I started doing that. And that's where I gained a lot of experience and exposure, because these societies used to host annual events where they would invite other universities and they host competitions. So
Yeah.
I polished my skill. I made a lot of money out of that.
Yeah. No, that makes sense. So what was your first experience to doing entrepreneurship in tech? Like, what did that look like for you?
Wow, that's I think most of my life has been purely accidental. I was lucky in
love
most
that.
parts. I mean, I was doing the right things,
Yeah.
but without knowing that I was on the right track.
Sure.
I was doing it because a lot of my friends were either doing it, or because I wanted to be where I saw those people doing different cool stuff.
Yeah, totally.
So I wanted to do the cool stuff. I wanted to join that clan as well, and I wanted to be cool,
Right.
And
You wanted to be around other people who were
Yes.
inspiring, doing cool
Yes.
things. Yeah.
So my first exposure to tech was when I was doing all of these ventures. I kind of realized that I would never end up doing a job in marketing
when you
or
say
HR.
job, do you mean like a 9 to 5 job?
A 9 to 5 job in
Okay.
HR or marketing or stuff like that. At that point in time, and this is the era when the tech industry was booming in Pakistan. So all of a sudden, everybody wanted to do startups. And by startups, I mean the fancy startup word with the pitch decks and the venture capital fund,
Sure.
and the incubation and the
Like Y
accelerators,
Combinator,
Y
like all
Combinator and
that.
stuff.
Yeah, getting like
So Pakistan was replicating that model in all of its incubation centers. A friend of mine introduced me to Startup Grind.
okay.
That
yeah.
was my first ever exposure and introduction to tech entrepreneurship.
Were you still in college at the time?
I was still in college at the time, and I was doing all of those ventures, the publisher stuff, the photography stuff. That was still going on.
Yeah.
But along with that, I was doing my project for an entrepreneurship course where we had to come up with a plan that involved tech, a business plan that involved tech.
Sure.
I was very fond of a very sweet confectionery in our country called pan. It's a betel leaf and betel nuts all put together with a lot of sweet, stuff, and you kind of chew it, and it's pretty famous in Pakistan.
Sure.
So I used to chew betel nuts and everything. I was kind of bad influence guy. Sorry, I don't endorse any of that. But it was a pretty good confectionery, and it was not harmful. So all of that came with healthy products that I saw. So because I was consuming that, my entrepreneurship project was around building an e-commerce store, because everybody had to go commute for like an hour or so to get the original betel pan.
Okay.
Because I was in the oldest part of Lahore, which is like in the suburbs. It's in the outskirts of Lahore.
Sure.
So I brought that confectionery into the modern elite parts of Lahore, Pakistan, which was like the modern elite, but they did not want to go. Same model, like the one that I did for the books, for the course packs, because they did not want to commute
To
over
go get it.
Yes,
Okay.
because
So
it was
you
like
built
a
an
hassle
e-commerce
traffic.
store.
Yes.
So you built an e-commerce store for
And
this confectionery.
Yes, and the specialization was that if you order online, I'll deliver it to you within 2 hours.
Wow.
wherever you
So you're
are.
like the OG
I was
Amazon.
Like, yes, I was like the mini Amazon for Lahore for that particular product. And I consulted all the different distributors, gave them my recipe, and told them whenever there's an order for me, a rider's going to come pick up, but you have to use this recipe instead of your originals. And we had around 5,000 beetle pan shops in
Wow.
Lahore.
That's crazy.
Yes, they're like small bodegas or small delis in Lahore.
Right.
And all of them came on board. It took me a lot of time. But then my friend saw it. A friend of mine was already in the entrepreneurship. I think I owe to him a lot of my success as well. He's friends with Sana as well. Arzish. He's called the youngest tech entrepreneur of Pakistan. And he's an advisor to the Ministry for IT. And he's still 26.
Wow. That's,
Yeah.
whoa, that's crazy.
Yeah. So
I feel
and imagine it was
inadequate all
like
of a
10 years
sudden.
ago. This was all happening 10 years ago. That when he was around 15, 16 years of age.
I feel really inadequate all of a sudden.
Sorry about that. Yeah. So no, you don't have to. But yeah, for us in Pakistan, we didn't have a lot of opportunities. We didn't have
Yeah.
an exposure like here. So we had to really jump through the hoops to be where we are today.
Yeah.
So that's when I was introduced to Startup Grind.
Yeah. Do you want to explain to the listeners what Startup Grind is?
Yes, absolutely. So Startup Grind is the largest global community for tech entrepreneurs where the Startup Grind members invite a lot of seasoned tech professionals, seasoned tech entrepreneurs, and people in business, people in policy making to meet new startup ventures. So it's kind of like
It's like a
community
mentorship
building.
program.
It's kind of like a community building. We host fireside chats, we host podcasts, we host panels, panel talks.
Yeah.
And we would invite. So my last Startup Grind event in 2018, before I graduated, was with the Freshworks, CEO of Freshworks.
Wow.
Who was also the advisor to economic affairs on small businesses to the previous president. And he's a Pakistani entrepreneur. I really take pride in knowing him for whatever he did in the entrepreneurship domain. And then obviously the mayor of Atlanta was visiting us at that time.
Of Atlanta, Georgia?
Yeah, Atlanta,
Oh,
Georgia, Kwanzaa
that's
Hall.
so random.
Yeah, it was so random. He was visiting Pakistan for a diplomatic policy making kind of
Sure.
meeting, and I heard that he was visiting. So because Startup Grind is such a global community, it has a lot of good reputation and it has a lot of good standing. So if you introduce Startup Grind to anybody who is in the entrepreneurship circle, they would immediately click.
They
with
know
it.
what it is. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And they would not decline an invite from a Startup Grinder. So before starting Startup Grind, I went through all of those interviews. I
Yeah.
had to make 1-minute video explaining why I should be a Startup Grinder.
Yeah.
How I can make an impact in Pakistan
Yeah.
with a population of more than 280 million.
Yeah. And this is
And-
you applying for your membership
Yes.
to Startup Grind?
Yes.
Okay.
It was like a free membership program where I would get access to Startup Grind collateral, and I
Mm-hmm.
would be able to invite events using people to events using Startup Grind's name, and I
Got
would
it.
get a percentage of the tickets as well.
Okay. You're selling for Startup Grind in a way.
Yes, I was selling for Startup Grind, but I would be able to keep a percentage of the
Sure.
tickets. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a good model actually, because it's side income.
Right.
And it's also
Who doesn't
helping
love
back.
that?
Yeah, and it's helping back the community.
Exactly.
In Pakistan, it was really raw. Nobody knew how to do startups.
Right. So you guys were really trailblazing that for the country,
So yes,
which is really
so
very
I hosted more than 100 events. That was pretty crazy. I mean,
This is all in college
flunked-
too, right?
I flunked all my courses. I graduated bottom of the class.
Oh my God.
I barely graduated. I barely made it to my
But I'm sure you
convocation.
made such a strong community like in
Yes.
Startup Grind.
Of
Yeah.
course. And I never wanted to be a high scorer because I didn't want to go for an MBA or a master's degree.
Right,
And I did
right.
not fancy going into the MNCs as well.
Sure.
Because I knew that, I'm going to get stuck in
Yeah.
an MNC program where you're just a cog in the wheel.
Sure.
So
This is just maybe further proof that like networking is more important
Oh,
than
100%. 100%.
what you learn in your classes in college.
100%. My first job I landed because of the networking.
No, same. I got like I think my first semester in college, I got like a 2.6 GPA. It was not good. It
I
was
had
bad.
a 2.28.
Okay, you beat
And the
me.
bare minimum to graduate was 2.
you barely made it. You just scratched
I
the
wear this
surface.
as a badge of honor.
Because look at you now. Look at how far you've come.
So when you're on the route to success, then you can actually flex about the bad
Yes.
GPA.
At the moment, my parents were so mad at me.
My
So
mom was like,
furious.
"You ruined your life. You're
No,
gonna
literally.
end up like a
Yeah.
commoner." And
My parents thought the same thing. But it's like, look at us now. We took care of ourselves.
But it was just her Asian mom thing
Same,
coming out.
same. I get it.
So yeah, Startup Grind is like a global community. We have more than 500 directors in almost 100 countries. And we built a pretty strong community. I hosted more than 100 events. I invited almost everybody who was great in tech in Pakistan at that time.
Yeah.
Or somebody who was a diaspora for us, who was visiting Pakistan, was a Pakistani living in America, Australia, England, UK, or Europe.
You would
or
invite
anywhere.
them to Pakistan to come speak or be part of these events?
Yes. And I would sponsor all of that through the ticket proceeds.
Wow.
And those tickets would sell pretty big. And because largest incubation center of Pakistan was in our country, was in our university, so I had that advantage as well. So I had access to the largest incubation center. And it was right in our university. And it was our university was giving them the space. It was government owned, but our university was hosting it.
So you kind of had the golden ticket to one, like networking, because you're surrounded by all of these incredible, inspiring founders, and also getting to create relationships with other people who are coming to speak at the events because you're hosting them. And then you're also getting a lot of experience selling, with production, with event planning. Like you're kind of doing a full-time job, many like different full-time jobs while you're in college doing your coursework. Were at any point during your college experience when you're doing all of this, you thought to yourself like, oh, I want to be an entrepreneur, I want to be a founder? Like, had that hit you at that point? Or were you just doing this for like the enjoyment of it all?
I think a lot of people are going to relate to my answer on this one. Because I was so poor at that time, the financial insecurity and the inferiority complex was always hanging on my head. I was doing, up until that point, I was still doing it because it was a necessity. I still had to because it was like a gig.
Yeah.
You'd get a photography gig once in a month.
Sure.
You'd host an event once in a month. What if you don't have any guests coming over? What if the students don't want to buy course packs from you anymore? And what if students have access to now more delivery options because tech advanced during that time as well, so they could just order those course packs directly from the vendor and just take ask a rider to bring it to them. That was scaring me at that time. So while I was doing that, I had no motivation. I had the intent, but I did not have the backup plan to fall back onto if I did that. And it was too risky for me. And I was taking risks. And mind you, I was actually taking risks at that time. I was flunking in college. I was barely graduating and making sure that I put food on the table and I meet as many people as I can during that time frame, so that if I knock on anybody's door asking for a job or just helping me collaborate on the startup, they would know me. And they would not discount me for my financial background. They would take me as the person who helped the community and who they saw sitting with them on the fireside chats, the energetic young guy who wants to be an entrepreneur and wants to raise awareness for the entrepreneurship.
I mean, that counts way more than someone they've never met. Maybe they've gotten the 4.0 in college, but if they've never met them, they've never had a conversation, had a relationship, then that doesn't count as much.
I still respect the 4.0s because
100%.
They put all their lives into their degrees and then they do decent jobs as well.
Right.
I mean, probably they earn more than I did in the past few years.
Yeah, but you kind of did what works for you.
Yes.
Right. You still got to enjoy your time in college, meet a lot of
100%.
people, and maybe you didn't get the 4.0, but you created a system that worked for you.
Yes.
And I think that's also very important.
Absolutely. And my mentor in college, my instructor, told me this, and he helped me graduate as well by giving me a coursework that would, kind of average my grades. And he said, I'm doing this favor to you, Sharjeel, and I really want to thank him on this podcast. I always do. So he said, and those are his golden words, Sharjeel, I see something in you that you don't see right now. Maybe because you don't have a father, you don't have an elder brother, you still feel like that you have to do a job because you have to put the food on the table, you have to have a steady income. I see something in you. I would recommend wherever career you choose, wherever field you go into, learn it for 5 years and then start something of your own. I was like, what is this guy saying?
At the time, you were like, you're being crazy.
You're being crazy, dude.
Yeah.
I have to do 3, 4, 5 jobs to make sure
to make money. Yeah. So what did life look like for you after you graduated?
Oh, it was pretty rough. That's when the reality hit me that you need to have a good GPA because the first filter that the companies go through they take all the CVs that are below 3.0, put them into the trash, all the good big companies. So that reality hit really, really hard for me. First few months, I did not have a job. Everything was starting to fail for me. And I kind of went into a lot of anxiety, and I started questioning all the fun things that I did in my university
College years,
college years, yeah. And I was like, was it all worth it? Should I sell my camera? Should I, beg for jobs? I was actually literally begging for jobs.
Wow.
That's when one of the people that I had hosted on Startup Grind on the Fireside Chats, I reached out to him. I started reaching out to people on LinkedIn and asking for advice.
Yeah.
Not asking for jobs, asking for counseling.
Yeah. Yeah. Like
What should I do?
mentorship.
Yes. What should I do? So the first company that I joined, I'll come to that. The CEO of that company said, Sharjeel, when you invited us for that fireside chat, I did not see a corporate slave. I saw a sales guy. A sales guy who had been selling all his life, knowingly, unknowingly, willingly, unwillingly. You'd been selling course packs. You'd been giving tuitions. You'd been doing photography. You'd been selling your gigs. You generated income out of nothing.
Yeah.
You created a problem, filled the gap, and provided a solution.
Right.
A problem that not even existed for
Right.
a lot of people. I mean,
Yeah.
anybody could go take a commute and buy those course packs. You added convenience.
Right. Right.
So I don't know what
Did that
else.
click for you?
It suddenly clicked. It was like, damn, I had been a salesperson all
My whole life. You just never realized it.
I never realized it.
You were just doing what felt natural to you.
Yes.
And also you were in survival mode as well,
I was in the survival mode. Oh yeah, I've talked about that in therapies for so long. The survival mode, the fight of survival mode.
Yeah.
And thanks for pointing that out. So yeah, he said, I want to interview you.
The CEO said that.
The CEO said
Wow.
that. You'll still have to go through all the criteria, all the exams and all the interviews and all the
Formal interview
yes.
process, yeah.
But I would remove the GPA requirement for you because I see something in you. I was pretty amazed. I was like, dude,
That's a good
the
leader.
First damage. Yeah, and that's what leaders see in you, right?
Yeah.
They don't look at your grades. They look at the potential and what you can deliver.
Yeah. How long into so
6
you
months after
6 months
graduation.
after graduation, yeah.
I had nothing.
So that first 6 months must have been.
Oh, they were
Yeah.
really hard. I mean, I wouldn't sleep all night. I would just be sad.
Yeah.
And my girl at
Sharjeel.
that time would kind of give me some solace. She was doing a pretty good job at that time, and I kind of felt like, you know what? If you ever quit, just recommend me
You're like, I'll take over
for
for
the
you.
sake of love.
Yeah. Okay, so you go through the formal interview process with this company.
Yes, that was a really grilling experience. The interviewer, who was my first manager as well, he was in sales for a really long time, and he was doing tech sales. That's where I accidentally now ended up in tech sales because I was interviewing a lot of tech people in
Right.
the entrepreneurship.
Yeah,
the
yeah,
Pakistani landscape was
Right.
booming in tech at that time.
Yeah, it just like
All
kind
of
fell
that
into your
came
lap.
into place. Yeah. So the guy interviewed me, and he said, you have a lot of potential, but you need a lot of guidance as well because it's all over the place. You have a lot of energy, and it has to be directed.
Yeah.
Not contained, directed. So I started my first job, and I loved it. It was a night shift job. I had to sell software services in America, like pretty much every Asian company does.
Sure.
India, China, Pakistan, all of them exporting their software products and services to America.
So were you just, what was that? What did that look like? Were you just
I'll tell
calling, cold calling people?
I'll tell you.
Okay.
So we used to send 20,000 emails in a day.
Oh my God, cold emailing and cold
Yes. Pretty much mass, but we had to read the prospects. 200 dials, and I'm telling you, it was not automated. We had to manually dial on
every single one.
single number. And
Your fingers must have been like,
oh, Annie, if I tell you what I had to go through, I started losing my hair. My hair turned all gray.
Oh
I
my
kind of dyed my hair before this podcast. I lost a lot of weight, and it was a night shift job.
Wow.
Night shift itself is so mentally taxing.
because you have to be awake all night.
Yeah, and then you don't get to see the sun.
Wow.
So 200 dials in a day. The moment you come in, you look at the prospects, and we're not talking about selling, credit card scams or like quick fixes.
Sure.
We're talking about decent, sophisticated,
Complex
real-time,
software.
complex software projects that could anywhere range between $250,000 to $1 million, could last between 6 months to 4 years.
Wow.
And we were dealing with Fortune 500, Fortune 10 companies, and they don't joke around.
Right. Like you have to know exactly what you're talking about.
I can
be able
tell
to
you was
answer
so many
every question.
experience, so many times when I actually got panic attacks while talking to like a board of 12 people who were evaluating us
Yeah.
from all different
Yeah.
aspects, and I was the youngest salesperson in the room.
It's intimidating.
It's
very
intimidating. It's like, why are you coming at me? Just discount me for my age, dude.
Right, right.
Step back a little.
Right.
But they would not see that, right? So they're looking us as a vendor, as a service provider.
They're
So
taking you at face
they're
value.
evaluating us as a professional.
Yeah.
They don't know that I'm 22 at that time. They don't know that I have zero experience. But my manager, he really gave me the room to flourish. So I shadowed for like a couple months, and then I turned into a full-time salesperson. I was doing lead generation as an SDR. I was taking care of the leads processes, and I was also taking calls, and I was also handling projects.
Wow.
So there was so much on my plate. I was a pretty social guy. I told you, I was an extrovert.
Were you the most antisocial in the years that you were, in the months that you were doing that?
Oh, my friends were like, "Hey, where are you lost? Is there something going on with you?
Yeah.
Do you need our help?
Yeah.
Are you mentally?"
Okay.
And I'm like, "No, dude, I'm just burnt
I'm just
out."
working. Yeah.
6 months into the job, I got burnt out. I had to take 2 months off because every time I would sit on the phone, I would start trembling. And my CEO, even though he's a great leader, and he gave me the first,
Like your first opportunity.
but he did not take no for an answer. He was like, "Dude, we're relying on you for our sales pipeline." And we had other salespeople as well. But
Sure.
I
Were
was
you
one
like
of the top performers. And he's like, "You cannot take a break. Grow up, dude. Don't be a sus."
Oh,
And
that's
I
like
was
classic Asian parenting.
Yes. And I was like,
But it doesn't always
"Dude."
work.
It does not.
It doesn't always work like that.
So I tried to push myself. I had this concept in my mind that stress is like a muscle. The more you stretch it, the stronger you become.
False.
It was not like that.
False.
I'm telling all of those people who listen
Who
to
are
this,
in the
it's
early
not
20s.
like
Yeah.
that.
If you're burnt out and you're stressed, take a break.
You don't have to do everything in your 20s. You don't have to have everything figured out in your 20s.
Life is long.
Oh, it's pretty long.
Life is super long. You have
And-
plenty of time to figure it out. Enjoy the journey also.
Enjoy the journey.
Like you don't need to arrive. I saw this quote the other day, and it was by a woman who's turning 55, and she said, "This is what I would tell myself if I was turning 30 instead." And she said, "Stop trying to arrive. You don't arrive, you evolve. Enjoy the journey.
Yeah, it's not about the destination.
It's
It's
not about the
journey.
destination." That's a lesson that I'm continuing to have to learn. But
But I came
Especially in your
back
20s,
pretty
yeah.
stronger. And that's when my first big break happened. So there was this Startup Grinds event happening in London at that point in time. And mind you, I have a passport with 0 visas at that point in time. I'm poor. I don't have a bank statement. I come from a third world country. I check all the boxes for a visa refusal.
yeah.
I don't have ties to my own country
Right,
because I don't
right.
have any assets.
Right.
I was not married at that time. I came back. I kind of took a break for 2 months. I focused on my mental health. My mother was really exposed and aware of the mental issues.
Yeah.
Against the characteristics of a brown parent, she was pretty supportive.
That's good.
She
Motherly intuition.
Yes, she knew.
Yes.
She knew something was going on. And I took a break. I came back stronger. I started, I'm telling you, I started nailing it like crazy. That's when it happened. Startup Grinds event was there on the charts, and everybody applied from our company for the event. And
What
for the
was-
London, it was London
it was
Technology
like-
Week in 2019.
So you were going to be they were applying to be a speaker at the
They
event?
were
Or no?
applying. So they were applying to attend the London Technology Week. So what happens
okay.
is, I'll tell you about this Pakistani tech industry. They attend a lot of tech events outside of Pakistan.
Got it.
Leap in Saudi Arabia, Jitex in Dubai,
Mm-hmm.
TechCrunch in San Francisco, New York Tech Week here, and then London Technology Week, Oslo Innovation Week in Norway.
Yeah.
So we go to a lot of different events.
So you guys are just applying to go to the conference.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I was the one with no visas. Everyone else had a lot of history. Oh, they were pretty privileged at that time. Funny enough, I was the only one who got the visa.
Wow. Do you think it's because of your previous ties to Startup
To
Grind?
Startup Grind.
Yeah.
Thanks for that. I always wanted to take an international flight. I'd never flown on an airplane. I never had that experience.
Whoa, what was that?
It was big for me. I was so excited that all my time in the flight, I was just talking to air hostesses about my, and I was an av geek. I did not tell you about it. I was an av geek. I knew a lot about airplanes, and I used to do plane spotting when I was little with my father. I would actually drive an hour or so from my hometown to Lahore,
Yeah.
to an international airport, and I would just ask
Just
my
like watch
father
the
to,
planes take
Yep.
off. Oh, that's so sweet.
I had that certain urge of being in the sky all the time, and that was there from when I was little.
Wow. So it was like your dream come true getting to take that international flight.
It was, and I told the air hostesses, I know what this plane is. It's a 747 wide body.
And the air hostess
And
must have been like, what are you talking
What are you talking about? Dude, go sit on your seat.
Yeah.
If you need a Bloody Mary, just let us know.
Yeah. They're like, we'll bring you whatever you need.
Yeah.
Just please stay here. Please don't go into the cockpit and try to
Yeah.
talk to the pilots.
Don't take over the cockpit. So I went to London. Pretty amazing experience. I was the first one from Pakistan to represent, the youngest one from Pakistan to represent the Pakistani tech industry on London Technology Week. I was the youngest startup grinder to be at the Startup Grind Europe conference. I was the only Pakistani startup grinder to be at the Startup Grind
Wow.
Europe
You were the only
conference.
Pakistani there.
The only Asian, because Indians did not get a visa at that time.
Yeah.
I had a lot of good friends in India as well who were startup grinders. They did not get a visa. Only one of them, but he was also already outside of India at
Wow.
that time.
So all of the odds were really stacked against you, but for some miracle, you were able to.
I told you, it was so accidental. All my life has been so accidentally spotlighting.
I mean, it was meant to
was
be
like,
someone in the universe is looking out
yes,
for you.
I
Yeah.
have a full faith in God. He wanted to put me out there.
Yeah.
Oh, that's when things changed for me. All of a sudden, I became famous. Everybody in the tech industry knew me. Everybody in the UK. I made so many good connections in the
Because
UK.
of that conference?
Yep. And because I was the only startup grinder from Asia, from Pakistan, the youngest startup grinder as well.
You were the minority.
I
So
was the
this is-
minority, so I took the highlight.
That came out as your advantage.
Yes.
That came to your advantage.
Yes. So
Wow. So what was it about that conference that really changed the trajectory for you?
well, actually, that gave me the idea that I was actually there to kind of be the sales agent for my company that I was working for. So I pretty much sold their services for most of the part, but I
Yeah.
actually made a lot of good friendships. One of my friends, who was an entrepreneur at that time, I met her at the Startup Grind conference. She was exhibiting a startup, and I was a startup grinder, so I had the flex to kind of go to them, everybody, and
Yeah.
I'm a startup grinder. Let me help you with your startup.
Right.
Let me tell you what to do in technology, what to do in sales, what to do in marketing, and
Yeah.
everything. We met last year here in New York after 5 years.
Wow.
I'd met her at that conference in 2019. She was from Czech Republic. She moved to New York for her startup on the O1A visa. And we met last year. So see, the kind of networks and the friendships that I weaved from those. Well, fast forward, I jumped from the services company to a SaaS-based product company that was pretty much selling products to the US market. They had 4 salespeople in their team who were in the US.
Okay.
And I was the only Pakistani salesperson who was selling from there to the US market.
Got it.
I topped the charts.
Wow.
I broke the record so bad that one of them actually posted a very racist comment. He got fired immediately.
Yikes. But you were just so good
They were
at
like,
what you did.
who is this guy?
Yeah.
And it was
Like,
so
who's this
natural.
new guy especially,
Yeah.
right?
And it was so natural for me to be out there. I had that grunt. I had that hunger because I
Yeah.
came from a survival mode. The survival mode had not shut down by
Yeah.
that time as well
Yeah.
because I was paying fee for my younger brothers. I was doing all the groceries. I was paying the rent.
Yeah.
I was doing
yeah.
everything.
Right.
And my mother's salary was only covering for her personal expenses.
Yeah.
The teachers don't get paid a lot in Pakistan.
Right. Right.
So the hunger, the not having everything with you, and that loss that you have in your heart, in your soul, in your mind, drives you.
Right.
It can drive you crazy, or it can drive you crazy positive as well.
Yeah, you can guide it
I
in the
had nothing to
direction that you
lose.
need it to go in.
I
Right.
had nothing to lose.
Right.
That's when I realized that I'm topping the charts with sales. I'm nailing it.
Was that the point that you realized, like, maybe I should just do something on my own then? Or did that come later?
It did come later. But at that point in time, 2022, fast forward, I was the best salesperson in Pakistan. I had already topped all the charts. I was the highest closer in Pakistan. All of the salespersons were kind of looking up to me. How do you sell software projects so easily? How do you know about .NET when you're not even a tech person?
Mm-hmm.
How do you sell to enterprises? How do you close $250,000 deals sitting
Yeah.
in Pakistan?
Yeah.
You know, we can't even do it when we're in the
Yeah.
US.
What is your secret? Can you share? Or no, you want to
Oh
keep
yeah,
that?
I do want to share. I just became genuine, build relationships. I was so honest with what I can do and what I cannot do. I would just say on the face of the buyer, I cannot do that. We cannot do that. We can try to do that, but we don't want to experiment on your money.
Right, right.
That's when they would say, "Oh, if you can do this, can you do this?" And they're like, "Oh yeah, that falls into our sweet spot,
Yeah,
our forte."
yeah. So,
I
like,
would
keeping
make
things
friendships.
honest.
I would make friendships, Annie. I would just knock on the door of the person, send them gift cards, Christmas presents.
Yeah.
I had one customer who would be my advocate and bring me another 100.
Wow.
So
like, your customers were helping you build your pipeline.
yes, I was a pretty good closer, and I was a dominant alpha closer doing pretty cool hardcore sales. New customers being onboarded every
Sure,
single time. But
sure.
I was also building relationships, nurturing those customers. Fast forward, I got married, I got laid off. 2023, I get laid off, I get married, and I don't have a job.
Damn.
COVID hit.
Yeah.
A lot of companies started downsizing, and the first people to go are salespeople.
Yeah.
Because you don't have new projects,
You
nobody's
don't have,
selling, nobody's
no
buying.
one's buying, no one has the
So
money to
you'll
buy.
keep the existing projects in place, but say no to your salespeople.
Right.
I was laid off, and I was like, I gave so much to this industry, to these companies, and I was their top performer, and they let me go like this.
So quickly.
Am I just a number?
A number?
Am I just a badge ID?
I have bad news for you.
Yeah.
Yes.
And that's when it hit me. So Oslo Innovation Week was happening at that time. My wife took a loan for us, sent me to Norway for that conference. She said, take a risk. That was my first European visa on a Pakistani passport. I had gotten recently married. I was in a debt because I financed my own marriage wedding, which is pretty uncommon for Asian people.
Right.
Because their parents finance their... So I went there. I met the same industry again, Pakistani industry. I met a lot of people. I told them I'm unemployed. One of the tech CEOs came to me and he said, Sharjeel, I've heard that you're really good at sales. Can you teach me how to do it? He sat down with me and a paper and pen. I actually jotted down all the steps.
Everything you knew.
Every secret sauce that I knew.
Yeah.
No BS.
Yeah.
No, like, you need to be good with your prospects. You need to be more transparent.
Yeah, you weren't being
No.
fluffy. You were giving him real juicy
Stuff.
details.
You need to do these numbers game. You need to do this many reach outs, pitch this, don't pitch this, say this, don't say this, use these tools, use these
Yeah,
strategies.
you had a library of information after all of the
Yes.
experience over the last couple years. So
He said this one thing that changed my life. Dude, you're so good at this. Your impact is bigger than one company.
did that just blow
Don't
your
die
mind?
as a salesperson in one company.
Yeah.
You can turn around the entire IT exports infrastructure of Pakistan.
Wow. Did that blow your mind at the time?
Oh, I cannot
'Cause you didn't even
tell
you didn't even think about it, right?
I did not even think of myself as that big.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even have thought that I would be able to pull off such an impact.
I mean, at this
It's
point,
like-
have you thought about starting your own company, or was that not even?
That's when it hit me.
That was when it hit you.
I called my wife and I was like, hey, this guy's offering me a consultancy. Should I take it or should I still keep applying for jobs? She was like, I always told you that you had something in you. Your mentor had told you this when you graduated.
Yeah.
You have been telling me all your life about your ventures. You were never excited about your jobs. You were always excited about your
Your own personal
deals,
projects. Yeah.
your sales, your everything that was related to you, not your company, not your employer, not your job. This is your time. This is your calling.
Yeah,
God
this is a
telling
sign.
you.
Yeah.
Take this as a sign.
And at this point, how many years has it been since you graduated college?
2018, 2023. So
Okay.
5 years.
So it's exactly the amount of time that your professor had said.
Exactly the same amount of time. And I graduated in June and this was September 2023.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Exactly 5 years and 2 months.
Wow.
That guy who came to me for sales, he was so inspired. Next day on the breakfast, they were like 60 CEOs were hundreds of millions of dollars in revenue sitting on the table. He stood up and he said, Sharjeel has just been laid off. If any one of you takes him as a sales consultant, I'll bet that he is going to bring you projects. And if he does not, I'll pay for all the sales consulting that you do. So, dude.
You're like, what are you doing?
Dude,
you're
that's
like,
a big claim.
You're like, dude, sit down.
Sit down. That's sick.
And what didn't he say something along the lines of like, if 3 of you raise your hand right now, he won't go back to find a job or something like that?
Oh yeah, he did say that. And now that you recall it, he exactly said that. And I thank you for reminding me that because I told
You told me that on the phone call,
yes.
a couple weeks ago.
He said, if 2 of you sign off right now, 3 of you sign off right now, he won't go back to the job. And you'll be grateful that he did not. 2 people showed up, their hands, and they were like, we're happy to take a sale. What is it? I mean, it's like $1 million rupees.
Yeah.
PKR, it's like $3,000 worth of 3 months experimentation. We've burned so much money in sales. And that at that point in time in Pakistan was failing badly in sales. Because Google had announced new policies, the sales aspects were changing.
Yeah, a lot of regulations end up making things really complicated.
Yes, and these were all tech founders, so they did not know how to sell. And because we did not have a generation coming up as a sales person, so we had a lot of gap. So they're like, okay, we're ready to sign him as a consultant.
Yeah.
At that point in time, I was making 3 times of my salary without having to have a boss.
Wow.
While creating an impact for now 3 companies against 1.
Wow.
Where I would close $1 million, I would be now closing $3 million. The impact already amplified.
Wow. And you're not as burnt out, I'm sure.
I'm not as
you're
burnt out.
You're not working the night shift.
Oh yeah, I'm not working the night shifts anymore because I'm now doing the day consulting with the tech founders. Fast forward, now that I was in consulting, I had a lot of capital with me. I was invited to a talk where I had to introduce myself. And the person sitting next to me introduced himself, I'm the founder of this. I was like, what am I a founder of? I'm a sales consultant. I'm not a founder of something. I don't have a legacy with me. What should I do? And if I'm a sales consultant...
You had like an existential crisis.
Oh, yeah.
In the 10 seconds.
100%.
That this guy
I was blown away. I was blown away. I was internally imploding, actually. So, at that point in time, one of the persons from the audience, they asked a question from me. Where do you see yourself doing this? Because I was actually advocating about sales and bringing Pakistan's IT exports from $4 billion to $100 billion in the next 5 years. And that was a pretty big mark for me.
It's a big mark.
Oh, yeah, it's a big, big, big mark. It's like India's exports are sitting at $80 billion and they're 5x of our population. So
right.
It's not even proportional. You're being crazy. So
Sometimes you have to dream big.
Yeah, you have to dream big.
You have to dream big.
He asked me, how many jobs have been created on your projects? How many engineers are deployed on your project so far? It's like...
He's trying to scale. He's trying to gauge your impact.
Yes.
Yeah.
He's trying to gauge my impact. Young guy in college, in his first or second semester, and he's trying to copy my footsteps if I'm successful. So he's just wetting these ideas that I had actually spoken of.
Yeah.
And trying to implement those. And if I would have created an impact, he would have actually followed in my footsteps.
Right.
So I had a responsibility to give an honest answer.
Yeah.
I said, I don't know, maybe 700 engineers on my product so far. He said, wow, that's big. But I said, no, we have 600,000 graduates sitting outside of the jobs in Pakistan. That's not big.
That's not big enough.
700 versus 600,000. What am I talking about? Fast forward, everybody in the industry encouraged me. I kind of became like the golden heart of the tech industry. And that's when I launched my first venture, Futures Tech. Failed terribly, miserably.
It was called Future Stick?
Future Stack. I wanted to become the Accenture of Pakistan. So everybody in the US would come to me, ask me who to give these software projects to, and then I would tell them that I have vetted all these tech companies, and you can give your projects to them.
Got it. So this was your first
venture.
entrepreneurship tech venture.
Yep. Failed miserably. Why? I was not big. I did not have an international voice. I did not have credibility. I was still a young entrepreneur. I was still a young guy hailing from Pakistan who'd just come out of the job market. And that's
How long did that venture last?
6 months probably.
Okay.
And
But you tried, right? Like you put your
I put my heart and soul
there.
into it.
Yeah.
I put my heart and soul into it. I put all my savings into it. I sold my car for that venture.
Wow.
To pay for the salaries. That was the only asset that I had at that time. My wife did not object. She was always so supportive. I wish she'd have been here today, but she's one of the reasons that I'm here. Then she did not say, she saw the craziness in me. She saw that I was always taking risks.
Yeah.
Getting unemployed on my wedding day. What would we do next? How would he be able to support our honeymoon or stuff like that? She did not care about this. She was like, he's
like
crazy.
He has a dream. He'll figure it out.
He's gonna do it. He'll figure it out.
He'll figure it out. Yeah.
Sooner or later. So fast forward, I started LemonLeads.
Was that so? LemonLeads is your second venture.
Yes.
Okay.
So my friend said that, hey, to become Accenture, you first need to have a lot of capital. You need to have a lot of impact. You're doing it the wrong way.
You're doing it backwards almost.
Yes.
Yes.
Because you're asking US companies to trust you for all their projects when there are companies, individual tech companies bigger than you, who could easily just score those projects.
Right.
So you're not creating an impact for everybody. You're just doing it backwards.
Right.
I was doing that, and then it hit me. The only problem that the Pakistani IT industry was facing at that time, it was not projects not coming in, it was the lead generation. They did not even know how to generate leads.
Yeah.
The projects would come when you have something on the table,
Yeah.
Once you have the leads, then only you can close them.
Right. Right.
So I kind of took all of my expertise around. I met a lot of people in Pakistan, outside of Pakistan. I started doing a lot of international trips by that time. Even though I was so much deep in debt, I still took more debt to finance my international trips.
Yeah.
Because I still believed that I'd be able to pay off. Remember I told you I paid off my debt on the camera.
Yeah. Yeah. You did say that earlier. So you're like, I'll figure it out.
See, I had this in me that I will never back off.
Yeah. You had trust in yourself after all of the experiences.
And during that time frame, I was going through anxiety. I was taking medication. I was taking therapy. And I was kind of just dragging myself towards a dream. And I was like, I'm gonna take rest only when I figured it out.
How long did that take for you to figure it out, though?
3 years, and I still haven't figured it out.
You kind of never really figure it out. Yeah. There will always be new questions that come up. You figure something out, and then you realize there's something else you need to figure out.
Always not at the finish line.
You're never
get
at
to
the
finish line, and you see it going further away.
Yeah, 100%. So was there a particular moment in your work, whether it be in LemonLeads or whether it be at any point during your sales career, you realized you were really making true impact?
I think it was LemonLeads when I started realizing that and before that Startup Grind as well, because I was very young when I had Startup Grind. I was a kid in college with zero exposure, came from a very humble background, from a very backward area in Pakistan. I did not have access to quality education. That was my first exposure to quality education, LUMS. So a kid, so little, interviewing and, taking panel conversations with CEOs with hundreds of millions of dollars of evaluations and so much impact. I realized back then that, I did not realize that I was creating an impact. I realized I was made for impact. My life was bigger than myself, my kids, my wife, my family.
Yeah, yeah. Like you almost had a duty to the world.
I was meant to be for the world.
Right, right.
I was not meant to die in my own small cupboard of life.
Yeah, like you realized that you had a duty to the world, to your country, to the people.
I was created for the world.
Right, right.
I had this intuition from God or something that, I had a life that I had to live bigger than myself.
Yeah.
I created an impact. I generated more than $20 million of pipeline for Pakistan.
Wow.
That was a breakthrough in our industry.
Yeah.
That was like one dude single-handedly taking care of all the small
All
size
of them.
companies.
Yeah.
And those companies that were surviving really badly, they were barely surviving.
Yeah.
They kind of started breathing. That's when I realized my impact. It was not with the big tech companies.
It was
They
with the smaller companies.
Yes, they were almost giving themselves a good fortune. But
Yeah.
the smaller companies that wanted to grow and build the ground
Yeah.
roots of Pakistan on a larger scale.
You were giving them a voice. You were giving them the
Yes.
opportunity to grow.
You need 10,000 tech companies. You need 600,000 engineers, 500,000 engineers to create an impact. And that would only happen if I would start helping every single tech company that was like a deli or like a bodega or
Yeah.
like a food cart on the street.
Yeah.
That was not big fancy restaurant.
Yeah. Yeah.
But they had the hunger. They were young. They were new.
Yeah.
They were with fresh ideas, and they were willing to sacrifice everything
Yeah.
for their future and career.
You were almost giving, like, if we take who you were back in college, back in high school, you were almost, and now that, yeah, so if we take who you were back then and the company that you've built today, you're almost giving younger you the opportunity to grow, right? Like, you've almost built a company that kind of heals all of the things that you maybe needed back then to
100%.
start something. And I think that's
100%.
really beautiful. And I think it's also really cool that you're like fighting for the smaller companies. These big companies, they have resources, right? Like
Yeah.
they have the sales, they have the leads, they have the brand and the reputation.
They
Like
have
you're
the money
giving,
and
they have the
everything.
money. You're giving voice to the people who maybe don't have as many resources. And I think
100%.
that's a really cool mission to be part of.
Yeah, and I believe in it that these smaller companies are gonna go so big, and they'll come together as one big Pakistani tech community.
Yes.
You know.
Yeah.
And it has created so much of an impact that last year we did $20 million in pipelines. It's not a small number for.
It's huge. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
20
huge
million
for a startup.
for one lead generation company. We have other companies as well, and all from the U.S. tech
Yeah.
industry.
So would you describe LemonLeads as like a consulting agency? Like what have you guys built a software? Like what exactly is LemonLeads?
So we used to provide services previously, but we are launching our software because we started working with some YC startups pretty recently, which was like a big flex for us because now we're helping Pakistani tech companies in Pakistan. We're now helping Pakistani founders who are in YC.
Yeah.
And who diaspora here as well. So we're kind of connecting those bridges as well.
That's really cool.
That's where I realized that I now need to have a product because I wanted to scale. I want to have 100,000 customers so that I can go back and invest back into my company as well as other companies, become an investor more than a sales guy.
Yeah.
And create an impact by creating more and more jobs. All of these 7 years combined, I think more than 4,000 engineers are working on my projects or have worked on my projects. And I wear that as a badge of honor because I did not have food on the table. Somebody guided me. Somebody helped me.
Yeah.
My
You've
friends
built this all
motivated
your
me.
own.
And I wanted to be the voice for those young graduates who did not have a father, who did not come from a privilege, but they were skilled. And giving them an exposure to a direct client in the US
Yeah.
rather than them doing a job.
Yeah.
Putting them on the path of freelancing on gig-based economy.
Yeah. So what's the gap in the market that you saw that LemonLeads could solve for?
Okay, so the biggest gap was sales. Our industry is very tech-based. So all of our founders are pretty much engineers who started from Upwork and then they built an agency. So they don't know how to sell.
Right.
They don't know how to
They're
sit in
technical
front
guys.
of. Yeah, they don't know how to sit in front of like the CEO of P&G or Unilever or Nestle and sell their software services. So I became their voice. And now that we're launching our products, we'll be able to voice their concerns and focus my shift onto becoming a liaison. So my product's gonna take care of all the sales for these tech companies.
Yeah.
But I'll be focusing more on building strategic relationships between the American tech industry and the Pakistani tech market.
Okay. So you are the bridge for Pakistan and the American tech market.
Yes.
Or is there any aspiration for also wanting to do this internationally as well? Or are you guys just starting with the American tech market?
I think everybody is a consumer to the American industry.
Yeah, that's fair.
Everybody in the world is a consumer to the American. We say Americans are the consumers, but we are all consuming through America. You know, every freelancer that you talk about on Upwork, TopTel, on our other different platforms, we all moved to America for a reason, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah, that's very true.
that pretty much answers the question. But
Yeah.
we want to scale internationally as well. We have built a footprint in Middle East and in Europe as well. But we want to now expand into other markets as well.
Yeah.
China's a big market. South
Yeah.
Korea is a big market.
Yeah.
Japan is a pretty big market.
That makes sense.
Language barrier.
Has there been, what's been the biggest surprise so far about running a tech company for the US?
Yeah, the grass is always greener on the other side.
Elaborate.
You feel like you know everything. You feel like you're very cool. If you know tech, you can sell. The Americans are pretty straightforward about the business. If you can't give them the value, you cannot sell them the features. You have to sell them the outcome.
Yeah. You have to sell them on
And
impact.
Yes, you have to sell them an impact.
Like you can't just sell them on
Yep.
vibes.
And we grew up in an industry which was so focused on, hey, like a vendor on the street, like, you know, I have potatoes, I have tomatoes, I'll sell it for 2 rupees, I'll sell it for this many
Yeah,
dollars,
yeah.
$2, $3, yeah.
Yeah. It's like a different strategy that you
I
have
have
to
a
build
one-stop
out here.
solution for everything you want to buy. No,
Yeah.
nobody wants to buy from you. They're
Yeah.
professional people. They want to see an impact.
Mm-hmm.
Step out of your product or service or, you know, feature-based approach
Mm-hmm.
and sell an impact. How can we change the American construction industry through our tech? How can we revolutionize the healthcare industry in America? How can we impact the insurances claims for the doctors in America while also being HIPAA compliant?
Right.
How can we impact the fintech industry in America while being SEC compliant?
Yeah. Yeah. It's all about like what you can do for them and what the outcome will look like.
Yes.
It's not exactly
Instead of,
about the thing.
okay, I have 5 engineers who are very well versed in English language, who can give you 5 hours of time zone overlap. They have .NET or
Yeah, and they're like, we can find that. Why? Yeah, but what? Yeah, and then they'll probably ask you like, but why you over the next guy? You know what I mean? Like, what is the difference?
And you cannot compete on the cost anymore because the Latin America has opened up its market so rapidly. Now you cannot even compete on the time zone, on the language.
Yeah, that's true. So you need
have
to
Brazil, you have Argentina, you have Guatemala opening up.
So it's like you really
Mexico.
need to create a differentiator.
You have to you have to create a different kind of impact.
Yeah, that
Why would
makes
they buy
sense.
from you?
Exactly. Why would they buy? It always starts with a why.
Yeah.
I was in
always starts with
sales
a why.
for let's see, almost 5 years. So I understand that, and now I'm in a product role.
Wow.
So now
Pretty similar though.
similar because I still have stakeholders and I still have to negotiate features and stuff like that. But it's interesting because whenever we are trying to like not sell, but like influence people to use this specific feature or something, I always have to come in with my sales background and say like, we have to start with why. Why should they use it? Don't tell them what it is. Like tell them what it is, but also tell them how it's going to help them at the end of the day.
Yes. The impact.
And that's the fun part I always enjoyed about sales is like the story and the narrative that you can build around the thing that you're trying to convince
100%,
your customers
100%.
on. So
The next couple of questions are going to be very emotional in answers.
so looking back on what you've built so far, like what's been your proudest moment today? Because you've built a lot, you've done a lot, but I wonder if there is one specific moment that sticks out to you.
I think it's a combination of all the moments. I went broke a lot of times. I was never fully at the top of the social structure. I was never an elite. So every single step that I took on jumping just one class forward, one class upward, you know, from earning $200 to $300 to earning $1,000, $10,000, creating one job for another person, 20 jobs, 50 jobs. Each moment was filled with so much pride and pride with humility that it pushed me forward. And it was always like, you know, the first time that I actually... So there was this moment when I was in a lot of debt. My brother's fee was due. And I was in between my ventures. I had sold my car, I had sold everything, and I was kind of, you know, just barely making it. And everybody was looking at me in the industry as like a failure. They were like, oh, that guy failed pretty quickly. So at that point, I sat down with myself and I told myself that I wouldn't have come this far if I was not meant for it.
Yeah.
It was 2024 before I actually, and that's the 3 days later I founded LemonLeads. That was the night I was actually taking medication for anxiety. I was taking therapy for anxiety, and I was going through a lot.
Yeah.
I had a marriage now. I had a wife to provide for. Even though she worked for herself, but
But it's like you have more responsibilities now.
I
than
have
you
more
did.
responsibilities now, and I almost am entering into my 30s. So I'm 28 now, 29 now at that point in time, and I failed pretty quickly. And I was like, "Is there anything next? Should I be looking forward to anything now, or is it the end?"
Yeah.
Because I had
But failing quickly can be a blessing,
Yeah, I mean,
right?
I, who would I call if I had failed now?
Yeah.
Every mentor had already given me advice. Everybody had given me a chance already. So I'd have exhausted all my chances. And I did not have friends and family who were very supportive.
Yeah.
Or my father who I would call and say, hey, it's time for you to give me some references. Call your friends and ask if they want any services of mine. And I told myself, I repeated my entire life in front of me. I wrote everything down to when I was broke, when people were laughing at me, when people were thinking of me as a failure, when they were encouraging me, when they were by my side, when my wife could have left me because I had nothing to offer other than love and care, obviously, and compassion. Everything brought me to where I am today. And if I fail now, it would be a disgrace to all of those efforts, all of those people,
All of the
experiences
Yeah,
that I
yeah.
had gone through.
Yeah.
That was the proudest moment of my life because I did not give up that night.
I love
I
that.
cried all night. I was actually crying my heart out. I was so loud that my wife actually panicked. And I locked myself in the room. The next day in the morning, I come back and I say, I'm going to start another venture.
Yeah.
And I don't care
You're like,
what
I'm
it
gonna
will be.
figure it out. Yeah.
I don't care what it'll be. I don't know what it'll be. But I'm going to make sure that I make that the best venture that everybody wants to work for and not work at.
And that's how you created LemonLeads.
That's how I created LemonLeads.
Wow.
And in LemonLeads, I take pride in saying that everybody who's working for me does not have a degree. They don't have a degree.
You're giving them a chance.
And I'm only taking people, most of them are in their early 20s. Most of them are in their college. They don't have a job. They don't have a father. I don't take privileged people in my company, even though because they already have a lot of options and opportunities.
Right, but you want to give a voice and an opportunity
Yes,
to...
I only take kids who are young, have a lot of responsibilities on them, and I take care of them. I just tell them, you need to focus on being the best. I'll take care of your families. I'll take care of your mom's coverage of medical expenses. I'll take care of your sister's wedding.
Yeah.
I'll take care of your next iPhone.
Yeah.
Just be the best.
Yeah.
Dude.
You're like, all I
Just
ask
be
for
in
you
my
is
vision.
yeah. That's really inspiring.
And in LemonLeads, we don't have working hours, by the way. So that's
It's
the
flexible working hours.
It's a flexible working hours. So that's the proudest moment of my life for not giving up that night.
So very inspiring. I think that everyone gets to a point in their 20s where they realize that no one is coming to save you. No one is coming to give you a handout or, tell you what to do next. Like, you have to take action on your own, and you have to have the discipline to follow through with it. And it sounds like you had that moment last year where you were like, I need to take action. I have agency. I have choice. I have free will. I'm going to take control of my own life and just make it happen for myself. And I think that is when the magic happens for people.
100%. The moment it hits you, and it's not even that, it has to hit you every single day.
Yeah.
As an entrepreneur, it's pretty easy for you to get demotivated after a while because the instantaneous rush of dopamine of starting something new hits you and you start working towards it. But after a while, it becomes redundant.
Yeah.
That's when you have to push yourself. That's when you have to remind yourself that you gave up so many things for this particular venture. And now it's feeding other people. If you give up, them and their families are going to be on the roads. And they're going to be in the streets.
Isn't that stressful, though? Like, is that stressful or is that motivating? Or both? It could be both.
I think it's a healthy stress.
Okay.
It can sometimes be mentally taxing, but only if you are not motivated enough. But if you're being a jerk or an idiot for not following through with your dreams, then only becomes stressful. But like, then again, I mean, it's a constant struggle of finding new customers,
Yeah,
trying to create an impact,
totally.
also feeding your employees. But then again, also moving to America was a big part of it,
Yeah.
and kind of turned my life around.
Yeah. I've really enjoyed hearing your story so far. There's clearly lots of ups and downs that you've gone through, and you've been able to figure it out yourself along the way. Is there a moment in your life that's really tested your belief in your ability to like achieve what you want to achieve? Like, has there been a season of your life where you're just very unsure of like what's to come next?
I think this is the season.
Right now, you're in it right now?
I'm in it right now, and you'd be shocked to know why. Because you'd be like, this dude is doing pretty amazing job.
Yeah,
so
from the
far.
outside looking in. Yeah. What's happening right now?
I moved here. Somebody recommended me that I go for the O1A visa, right? And they said I checked all the boxes.
Can you briefly describe what that visa is to people who
So
may not
O1A
know?
visa is for people with extraordinary abilities. If you have won awards in your category of whatever you're doing, if you're an artist or a business owner or an entrepreneur.
It's a hard visa to get.
It is a pretty hard visa, yeah. But if you have a lot of awards in your name, a lot of news has been published about you, and you have judged other people's works, it could be like a peer review, or in my case, I've judged a lot of startups. I've helped and mentored a lot of startups. And you have a company, you like a startup of your own, and you're in a leading position, like I'm the CEO of my own company. If you can check all of those boxes, just need to check 3 of those boxes, and you have to prove beyond doubt that you're extraordinary in your home country. It's easy for you to immigrate, because then you can actually apply for EB1A green card, which has the exact same criteria, but it's a green card. And if you get approved on the O1A, E1A is a short win.
Wow. Okay.
So I was like, where do I go from here?
Yeah. So you're here on that visa.
I'm here on that visa. And the question was, what do I do now? Should I still keep selling my services to the Pakistani tech industry? Or should I now leave that impact behind because I've done enough, and focus on selling to the American business owners? Like, I can help you generate more sales.
So you're kind of you're figuring out what your next move is right now.
Yes. And I'm also in the middle of building my products, and I'm also in the process of figuring out which industries to target next, because most of these industries are getting automated in sales. So they don't need a lot of salespeople anymore.
So you're kind of writing your next chapter as we speak.
I am writing my next chapter, and
That's
I don't know
exciting.
what it's going to bring me next. It's very stressful. I'm in the gray right now, but I'm excited.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
It's beautiful because you can really just do whatever you want.
Yes.
You can really do whatever you want, and like free will is the thing.
That's when you don't have a job. That's when you don't have a boss. You can do whatever you want.
Yeah. That part
You
about
have the freedom.
That part about being your own boss is definitely very enticing.
Oh yeah, 100%. And just one last thing about this, that when you're not working for someone else, you get to explore so many good things about you that you didn't know existed.
Yeah.
They put you in a box to make sure that you only think what they want you to think. They want you to work on one process.
Yeah.
You could be really good at marketing. You could be really good at modeling. You could be really good at arts. You could be really good at just selling. But they confine you in boxes to make sure that you focus on giving them results.
That thing. Yeah.
And
It crushes creativity.
It questions.
It really
questions creativity, and as well as it also hampers you from your true potential.
Yes. I
You
agree.
would never be able to fully know how capable you were.
Until you kind of have to survive and
Yes.
you do whatever you want to do and whatever you need to do in order to make ends meet.
And when you have a paycheck, constant paycheck, you just get into
You get
a
really
comfort zone.
comfortable. You get really comfortable. I saw this thing the other day that said the salary range where dreams start to die is between like 150 and 200 in America.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Because that is when 150 to 200K yearly salary. I should clarify, because that's when you start getting comfortable.
And I'll give you one other point on top of that.
Yeah.
If you jump from 150 to 200, you're not getting more salary because the tax bracket changes.
Yeah. Like that's when the diminishing returns start to hit.
So marginal diminishing returns start to hit up until you're at $500,000, and you don't even go upwards of that. You're not in FANG.
Right.
So
small amount of people will get there.
and then you start getting loans and putting yourself into that cycle where you just.
It's wild.
You cannot get out of it, but you have to get out of it.
You have to get out of it if you feel like your life is feeling a little like
if it has
larger than life.
Yes, if it has even occurred to you once, that you're not enough, or
You could be doing more.
you could be doing more,
Yeah.
experiment it. If you're in your 30s, you have a lot of time.
So much time. Even if you're older, honestly.
Yeah,
'Cause-
Warren Buffett and Colonel Sanders. Oh, Colonel Sanders, that's what we call him,
I
the
think so,
KFC.
Yeah.
KFC guy started at 60 or something.
He did. And I think especially when you're older, it's really it's even
You have a lot
more,
of experience.
Right. Thank you. That's what I was trying to say. I'm getting hungry, clearly. With all of the professional experience you have, you can work smarter than maybe some of the younger entrepreneurs.
You can actually eliminate most of the risks that you would take.
Right, because you've had the experience. You understand like what the risks are.
You know what not to do.
You know what not to do, and you know how to work with people.
Yes.
Because you've been doing it
And
for
you have
decades.
built a network as well as a credibility by that time as well.
Yeah, it's never too late.
It's never too late.
It's never too late to start. So what advice do you have for people who might be feeling stuck or unsure what to do next, or feeling like they want to start something but not really sure, what the first step is?
On a personal level, if they're going through the anxiety of being stuck in the job, quit the job. I do not recommend people on staying with one company for longer than 2 years unless they're in sales, because that's when the impact starts to hit. Quit the job, experiment in different roles. And if you're not comfortable with starting something of your own as yet, you should quit your job right away. If it doesn't feel like fulfilling your purpose, if it doesn't motivate you, quit the job, switch to somewhere else.
Should they get another job somewhere else, or should they have a plan? Like, what do you... Because I feel like there's different things that you could do, right?
I did not have a fallback plan, so I did not save up from my job.
Do you wish you did?
Because I got laid off.
Sure.
So, accidental. So, I would highly recommend that you need to start saving for at least 3 to 6 months of your salary, but then start experimenting.
Yeah.
And if you feel like you're stuck, sit with yourself and read the book Ikigai, the
Love
Japanese
that book.
concept.
I've read that book twice. Great book.
I have been doing that experiments for so long, and my hobbies changed, my skills changed, everything changed.
You evolve over time.
But the impact, the outcome, it was always in that box. I was able to figure that out.
Yeah.
And that's where I played on my strengths instead of just being a random guy with a random skill trying to figure random things out. So you have a plan, you have everything jotted down.
Yeah. What about for the people who want to immigrate here? Or maybe they want to move to another country. Maybe they want to... It doesn't necessarily have to be America. Do you have any advice for them?
Yes. So it's from a religious standpoint, immigration is a blessing for us. So whenever you immigrate, you go through a lot of personal growth because you have to do everything on your own. You're in an alien place with alien people, with alien food, alien culture, alien language. You have to start everything from scratch. I spent a night on the Path platform on Journal Square because I did not have a place to go to. I did not have money.
You slept over on the Path platform?
Yeah. I spent the entire night on the Path platform. The first night that I landed in Jersey. Because I did not know anybody here. I'm the first one in my 7 generations to be in America.
Wow.
And I figured things out on my own. And now I can cook. I can talk to people. I can actually be a good host at the pop-ups.
Yeah.
I've realized so many good things about myself that I was not aware of.
Yeah.
So for anybody who wants to immigrate, do immigrate, man or woman or person, whoever you are. Because that's the best part of your life. And it's going to impact not just you, your family, your friends. If you immigrate to another country, you're going to change lives of other people as well, especially if you're coming from a third world country. Earning here, spending there is the best thing that you can do. $1 equals to like 280 rupees in Pakistan.
Right.
Oh, that's a lot of money. Yeah, that's like 3 million if you are spending like $10,000. That's like 3 million PKR.
Yeah.
And you can do a lot of good stuff.
Yeah.
And you would be able to do so many good things with your life.
People
People
need to realize that their life is bigger than where they are right now.
Yeah, and you don't realize that because everybody in your circle, they would just agree with you on wherever you are. They would just comply with your comfort zone.
Yeah, go talk to different people. Surround yourself with a different type of
You
community.
don't even know how smaller you are unless you start moving out. You go to you come to America or you go to London, England, and you realize people half your age are doing so many bigger and better things.
Yeah.
And you could have done those too.
Yeah. Have you ever had a moment since moving here last year? Has there ever been a moment that has just completely humbled you and like put you in your place?
100%. Especially one when, because I was in the middle of immigration and my O1 visa profiling and applying for the visa and everything, I lost so much focus from my company that I lost a lot of customers, and I was kind of paying out of pocket that, and I could not work because of the visa category.
Visa, right.
I could only work for LemonLeads. And then I saw a 19-year-old raising a $20 million evaluation who had just immigrated to America and just started college. And I was like, and let me tell you, he didn't have both the parents. He lost both the parents. He came from a very small town in China.
Yeah.
And he got a scholarship to come here. And he told me this one thing, and it was really beautiful. And he said, and he called me Sherry because that's my nickname. He said, Sherry, you know what? Before I graduate, I want to give a tribute to my parents. That before the degree, I built a house in their name. I built an orphanage in their name. And
at 19?
And I was like, what?
In that moment, did you feel completely inadequate?
Oh, yeah. That humbled me.
Yeah.
That humbled me in the most positive ways. Because I was going through that part of my life where I had lost so many things. Mm-hmm. And, these things happen with the entrepreneurs.
Right.
They go broke all the time.
Yeah.
They go bankrupt all the time. They feel lost all the time. And he motivated me. I was humbled already because, I was feeling like the king of the world, that I'm the first guy from my family.
Yeah, you're like, look at me.
I'm like flexing on my stories. And I'm like, I'm in New York, okay?
Right,
I'm in Manhattan.
And here's this 19-year-old just come and crushes your spirit.
Yep. And he grew up with no parents and came from a small town in China.
Was there a small part of you that was like, I was supposed to be the one with the passed away father? Like, not like, you, showing you up.
My accidents happened a little later.
That's wild.
So, life has humbled me so many times. I've been broke. My mother has completely abandoned me. My brothers have abandoned me because I was not supporting them. Mm-hmm. My friends had abandoned me because I was not up to their standards of being a rich friend. And
well, it sounds like you've built quite an incredible path for yourself, and you're continuing to do so, and you're doing it all on your own too, which is so impressive. I hope that if you take anything away from this experience sitting on this couch with me, is that if you recount this entire story that you've told, it's that you've come a really long way, and you've built a company that is reflective of your experiences and reflective and genuine and authentic to who you are. And I think that's something to be incredibly proud of. So
thank you so
much.
Hope you take that away. I'll take that away with me. And I think it's a good reminder for me as well, especially at this point when I'm trying to figure things out.
Yeah.
And, I should just give myself a pat on the back.
Give yourself a pat on the back. You should definitely give yourself a pat on the back.
Take it easy.
I'm sitting here, and the reason I haven't asked as many questions as I usually do is because I'm just enthralled by the journey that you've had and all of the hardship that you've had to overcome. And I think that in itself is something to be really, proud of,
Thank you so much.
I know this has been like a journaling therapy session sitting here, but I hope you feel, grateful for the experiences that you've had and for the work that you've put in, for the people who have surrounded you, for the company that you've built, for the companies you will build in the future. Like, I have no doubt that you will leave an impact.
I see the sparkle in the eyes of the people when I impact their lives one way or the other. And it just drives me every single day.
Yeah.
It's like, his or her mom is going to sit down on the prayer mat tonight and pray for the guy who changed their life.
Yeah.
And that's counting on thousands of prayers of people who don't even know me, but they know that their family member has been positively impacted by something that I did, like the Immigrant Founders Network that I built. Mm-hmm. So many students come in from Pakistan and India and China and Bangladesh. They don't know about the culture. They don't know about anything. Yeah. And they they want to start something of their own, but they get stuck into the job thing and everything.
Yeah, yeah.
Imagine these kids. We have, I don't know, about 100,000 kids coming over to US as students every single year. Imagine these kids having access to all the seasoned entrepreneurs, and they can take on a paper of all the do's and don'ts. Yeah. They could actually just bring their ideas and get the funding from these sharks and these seasoned entrepreneurs and help them start the ideas of their own. I mean, this is gonna impact so many lives
Yeah.
in areas that I don't even know of, the geographies
Yeah.
that I'm not even been at.
Yeah, you haven't even it will get there. I have no doubt.
will
I
get
can
there.
see it in your eyes. You're so passionate. You're so motivated. You have this innate hunger to help other people, and I think that's something that you don't see very often these days. So I'm very excited for you, and I am just, as someone who's just met you, like I just hope you feel very proud of yourself walking
Thank you
away
so
today.
much.
Okay, we have to wrap, but I usually like to end on a few like fun fire rapid questions.
yeah, sure.
Okay, so what was your biggest culture shock when you moved to the US?
Driving on the left side.
Do you drive on the opposite side of Pakistan?
We drive on the right side of.
Have you had any close calls when
Oh
you
yeah,
first moved
so
here?
many. I almost had my license cancelled.
Really?
I got pulled over like 5-6 different times, and it was not even because I was not aware. It was just so natural.
Right. It's hard. When I was in Thailand earlier this year, they also drive on the opposite side to America, and I definitely almost died like once or twice while I was out there. When you're selling, coffee chat or cold email?
Coffee chat.
It's better to be in person.
Yes, but a cold email could drive a coffee chat.
That's true. Dream founder you'd love to have dinner with?
Elon Musk.
That would be an interesting dinner.
Oh yeah, because I just want to know, how does he keep himself so energetic at this age?
He does so much. He runs like 5 companies.
I get so burned out.
First word that comes to mind when you hear startup?
Constant grit.
What's one yes that completely changed your path?
Would you be willing to trade your job for a consulting?
Yeah.
That
Changed your whole
Oh yeah,
trajectory.
they changed my whole trajectory. I mean, that guy just switched me from a job to an entrepreneur at that point in time.
And then what's one word that sums up what you're looking forward to in 2026?
Legacy.
Legacy. Okay.
I want to build a legacy
Does that mean
lasts another 20 years, 30 years, 40 years.
Does that mean through another company, you think?
Maybe like 5 different ventures.
Yeah.
Maybe becoming a community builder while
I
putting this
definitely
company
see you as a community builder.
Yeah,
I see that.
putting
for you.
this company on an autopilot and kind of becoming a community builder for all the immigrant nationalities that exist in America.
Yeah.
And be a voice for them, be a bridge for them.
I'm excited for that. I'm really excited for that, especially because my father, when he moved here, similarly came here, immigrant experience, no one helped him. So I'm really excited for our generation as we, build up more in this world to like help our parents when they were where they were like years ago in this country.
100%.
So-
And they went through a lot.
They went through a lot, and I feel like you and Sana kind of like went through stuff that like our
100%.
parents.
I
went through.
did not know anybody in America other than my customers. I
Yeah.
did not have a friend to go to, family to go to. I slept on the path. I slept on the roads. I shared a room with 6 other people because I didn't afford, and I was so devastated. And it
Yeah.
was so mentally taxing away from the family.
Yeah.
So
That's-
first gen
that's hard.
immigrants are the
You guys go through so much.
Yeah.
I have so much respect for the hustle and so much respect for the grind and what you guys go through. And
Yeah.
you guys continue to do that with the biggest smile and the biggest positivity like in your life, in your spirit. So I just admire that so much.
And America is all about turning your life around and making your big dream come true. So I think we're all here to do that.
Yeah. And I'm excited to see that dream come true for you.
Thank you.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for coming on the show today,
Thank you, Amy,
Sharjeel.
for hosting me.
Of course, it was such a pleasure to get to know you and hear your story from start to finish. And I'm sure there's still so much more that we could get into if we had more time. But
I'll talk about my fun part next time.
all right, awesome. Thank you so
Thank
much
you so
again.
much.